Oh my God, you're gonna love it.
Hey folks, welcome to the AI Chicks, where we're providing you cool conversations about AI for all. With each episode bringing you a different topic on how AI impacts your daily life. I'm your host, Aisha, always coming in hot with that fun, unique perspective on tech. And I got my girl here as always.
Hi guys, I'm Lana Hout. I'm bringing the curls, the charisma, and that entrepreneurial energy.
Do not change your audio tunes. Do not change your dials. I am still fighting this laryngitis with my hoarse, raspy voice, but so much is going on with AI that we had to keep the conversation going. This episode is going to be covering AI headlines in the summer of 2025.
Let's get into it.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
So Lana, what's the hottest thing that we should start talking about now?
I think the hottest thing that we need to start talking about is Meta. Meta just announced its initiative to invest $15 billion into super intelligence.
That's right, you guys heard billions. 15 billion. This is the largest single AI investment in history so far.
I mean, it could change tomorrow. We never know, right?
But this is why we had to talk about this. Wanted to just give you guys a background when we talk about different types of AI intelligence. There's narrow AI, there's general AI, and then there's super AI, AGI, and super intelligence. So that is the level of what we're talking about with Meta wanting to not just have the LLM platform. They are really forming a company where they're going to be competing with OpenAI, DeepMind, and, other AI first companies at that scale.
What they're doing basically is they're buying a 49% stake in Scale AI. So I feel like Meta's really sort of changing the landscape. They had invested a lot in the metaverse and that, and going that direction.
First they started out with social media.
Yes.
Then they went into the metaverse.
And now they're going basically up against the other tech-forward AI giants like OpenAI, Anthropic, and things like that. And really, I think, want to be a player in that space. I'm actually really curious to see what is going to happen once they kind of take Scale in for their 49% investment, and really what kind of changes they're going to be making. What kind of waves are they going to be making in the AI space?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing too as well is that they're at the center of so much data because of social media.
Yes. And they control a lot of how the platforms and the interactions are. So it is really interesting to see a social media platform or one that originated as such to take such an active role right now in the AI race, so to speak.
And their first core foundation of their company is data.
Yes.
I mean, all of the communication, all of the data research, the analytics, everything that they're getting from social media since the early 2000s till now is all of that information going to be, the back end of what they're building. We'll see. But on top of that, they also can take a lot of these AI capabilities and features and implement it more into the social media platform. Then they also did dabble in having the Meta glasses, right? They got into products.
I think
that was their very first touch point with AI publicly.
Yes.
And so now this is really taking it to the next level.
And now they're also talking about their ad platform also integrating AI and having AI create the ads.
Yes.
Which if you think about how many companies invest in marketing on social media, right? With their different ad campaigns, I'm very curious to see how successful that is.
For you guys to understand, really, when we're talking about super intelligence, this is taking all the different aspects and capabilities of AI. So it's not just only Gen AI or just an LLM or just computer vision. It's taking everything together, hence super intelligence, and really being able to do capabilities beyond what we've fully seen in the public sector right now. OpenAI has been also working a lot with their AGI capabilities and what to roll out there. So we haven't seen too much of it publicly, but all of the other companies have been working in this space for years already. So I think Meta doing this $15 billion investment is basically to fast forward this game for them.
So I'm really interested in also seeing about how they are starting to incorporate AI agents and autonomous acts. You to be able to say, I need you to go work on a marketing campaign, and in the back, it's all being done for
Yeah.
you, or I need to update my financials, or I need to update my KPIs, or I need to send this communication. I'm really curious to see what AI agents, tools, platforms kind of come out of all of this.
So where my mind goes is the connectivity of it all.
Yes.
Because they do have the social platforms, they do have meta glasses. There's obviously going to be more tools and devices that they roll out. How does the connectivity come together with all of their pre-existing?
No, I love that if you have all these AI agents and AI chatbots and you have your social media platforms and you have all this tech, and if they're all talking to each other, how is that going to streamline your life? Are people going to like it? Are people not going to like it? Tech has been evolving so fast that I'm sure the players are, constantly reevaluating what's working, what's not working, and also where's it going? Because it's not just about what's happening right now. You have to think a year, 2 years, 5 years from now. And technology is moving so fast that these players have to be competitive and they have to kind of see the writing on the wall almost in advance.
So I have a question for you. We're going to put on your business broker girl hat here. Let's flip the switch. We're talking a lot about Meta, but what about the company that actually just got acquired? For them just closing a $15 billion investment, that's the largest investment in the history of AI and tech right now.
They had a good day.
Yeah.
They had a real good day.
Popping bottles.
Yes, they had a good day. But also, too, they got to partner with a big company like Meta, which has, to your point earlier, all that data, all that infrastructure, all that consumers.
Yeah.
You don't know the bounds of the product until you get people testing it, right?
Yeah.
And seeing, is it hallucinating? Is it making mistakes? So I'm actually really excited, and I'm sure they're excited to partner with such a strong company. I mean,
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Listen, if you get to partner with a Google, with an Amazon, with OpenAI, if you get to partner with one of these big guys, there's only opportunities, I think, for you to continue to grow and scale. So I think they are having a great day.
They're definitely popping bottles there. But on just a business scale, what are some of the types of things that happens in these sort of acquisition merger dynamics?
There is something that they have that the acquirer wants, and they feel like that company has it the best or has it built out enough. Because the thing about it is you're right. Meta has the money. Meta could go hire a bunch of engineers and put a division together. But the thing is that costs money, which they are making in this investment. So if you put it like that, okay, money is being spent no matter what. And it's not just $100, right? It's $15 billion, right? But what they're actually getting is the talent and the proprietary technology
and the time
that's been saved and the ability to compete faster. And I think with scale, Meta obviously has a bigger plan in mind. And I would assume that the intellectual capital of the brains behind scale, that asset in and of itself was something that Meta was like, let's go ahead and grab this up
and
so we can be more competitive.
That's the biggest in the history of so far.
Yes.
What's up next on the docket of the headlines?
Okay, I love music. You love music.
Yes.
We are music people. Grammy award-winning producer Timbaland has created a new AI genre of music called A-pop. And he partnered with this AI music platform, Suno, to create his new record label, which is Stage Zero. And his new artist is called Tata.
So he's done a two-stepper here. He's created an AI-focused record label and then is also launching an AI music artist, Tata.
This has been a very controversial thing in the entertainment world,
but
right?
Before we get into that, can we touch on the fact that you predicted this?
I did.
A year ago, you guys, in our music episode with Seven Streeter.
Yes.
She was giving us and sharing us the inside information of how artists and industry people in the music industry were thinking about AI at the time. We probably need to have a part 2 about music, the music industry and AI. But even in that episode, you gave a hypothetical example of Timbaland most likely would do X, Y, and Z.
If you were a producer, for example, Timbaland, he's a big producer, has a specific style. So wouldn't it be cool if Timbaland created like a producer AI that was his own incubator?
Got it. He's driving
that
and
he's
that he controls.
driving.
Yeah. And look, it wasn't that hypothetical.
It wasn't. I don't know Timbaland personally.
You're psychic.
So, I don't know all about that, but I was just really thinking about what I would do in the
If you
music
were
space.
Timbaland.
If I was Timbaland and I had his talent, his catalog,
yeah.
his experience, and the fact that so many artists want to work with him, what would I do?
Yeah.
In the perspective of not making AI the enemy. A lot of the conversations are about fear around AI, but I was
Versus-
trying to come from the perspective of, okay, well, if you're in the music industry, how can you look at AI as a tool? How can you make it work with you?
Since it's not going away.
And for you,
Yeah.
not go against you. It's not to say that I think that AI should replace creativity, but it's interesting because he's really making this genre of music using AI.
I remember even also giving a hypothetical, is it safer for AI to be its own genre? So then it's not competing with human generated music. And then in the award shows, you have like, you know, this ironic fairness of human generated music being compared to each other. And then in award shows, AI generated music is its own category. So the fact that he's really coined the A-pop AI music genre, it's definitely very controversial. And literally for days now, he's debating and basically defending his commitment to what he's doing, because a lot of independent artists right now are not fans of him pursuing A-pop and, you know, giving artificial intelligence its own lane and its own record label and releasing music, when there's so many independent artists that are still even trying to get a record label or trying to get exposure. I'm a bit torn with some of the things that people are upset with him about, because again, some of this is inevitable. AI is not going away, and AI is going to infiltrate the music world no matter what. So how do you find a way to make it work for you? He's doing that on a creative level as well as an entrepreneurship level. But does that mean that it automatically takes away from independent artists? I get that it makes it even more of a competitive, saturated market if all of these AI artists now come out. But at the end of the day, I truly, truly believe if Billie Eilish came out during an AI music craze, I still feel like Billie Eilish would be Billie Eilish. Some music will always pop and surge above the rest.
I just think it's a different category. I think that should be its own category. All the artists that are created should be in that category. And one, I think it's about how they're generating the music. If they're creating music off of other people's music and inspiration,
They just feel as though, I'm generalizing here because there's a lot of voices, a lot of opinions happening online, but there's a good chunk of them, and the part that I'm touching base on is that they just feel that someone of his caliber giving light and energy and attention into artificial music and artists, where there's a bunch of human artists that could use that push or that record deal.
Yes.
And my position on it is that despite if AI music existed at all or not, there's always been a marketplace of independent artists. Without AI, those artists didn't all just turn into superstars. There's always that dynamic of some people are going to rise and become more popular or more successful above the rest. And I don't think that that's going to go away, even if there's an AI genre or AI artist.
I completely agree with you. If people created 20 AI artists right now, not all of them are going to pop. Maybe none of them would become mainstream. Maybe it would take 1,000 AI artists to be created to get the one AI artist that cuts through the noise. It's the same thing with the human artists. There's a lot of talented, creative people. Not everyone makes it, because it's also about story. It's also about human connection and relatability. Now, what he does with these AI artists, just like any kind of AI character, is going to need to get an audience, need to relate, and or the great music that is produced. Yes, he could hire a couple more artists. He could have a couple AI artists. But at the end of the day, he's a creative person. And this is how he's choosing to express himself. To then sit here and say how he should or shouldn't do it, you shouldn't be able to control his own creative
I think
expression.
where the outpours coming is because of someone at his level and caliber, right? Because AI music has been generated for multiple years. I think it's having that public cosign from someone of Timbaland's level. That's where they feel then the threats. So I do see the other side of it in adopting A-pop. Then you're having one individual creating multiple artists, and you could anticipate that if a lot of human listeners become fans of A-pop, that could drastically shrink the artist market.
I see both sides of
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
Look, my favorite artists are, well, right now, they're all human artists. But what I'm saying is because I love their story, I love their music, I love their messaging. When I hear their words and I hear their voice and I hear the emotion, it speaks to me, right? I am totally for human artistic expression. I'm just saying that the assumption is when we're talking about AI that humans aren't in the room, that people aren't listening to the music, that they're not giving feedback. There's still that happening too. It's not like he just goes, I want a pop song, and then he publishes it.
But if AI is generating it, it's less human input. I want a cool horror movie soundtrack song, then it just generates it.
Yeah, but
You're
then
just
you as
putting
the
in
human
text.
have to prompt it. No, if it
You're right.
references,
You're
it's
right.
still a refinement process. I'm just saying Timbaland being a creative artist and his own creative genius, I'll give him that. He's probably doing the same thing.
Yeah, I could see both sides, how not in this very moment, but the evolution and the escalation of when creating music and creating artists just comes from prompting. You don't know how to play an instrument. If that continues to be the wave and the norm, it does completely strip a lot of the fundamentals of humans needing to know the artistry.
I just don't want to make it seem like you're just pushing a button
Yes,
and then
you're right.
an artist shows up and their backstory shows up and it's all good. If you are a true artist that has a powerful message and that has talent, that will always come to the top.
Yeah,
It just will. And that's what makes the greats great. But I just think that there's room to play too and to be creative. And I think it also allows people who might not have thought that they're traditionally very creative the opportunity to experience experiences that they would not have if they don't play a guitar.
And that's what's happening. You have a lot of people who did not study music, do not know how to play instruments, do not know how to sing or write lyrics. The way the music is created does not require any music skill or knowledge whatsoever. Like all you need is to know our words. So that's where the big underlining foundational fear is. I have played around with the tools, but I haven't actually released anything.
Oh, are you going to give an exclusive drop right now?
I think I'm going to play around with some AI platforms in the music space that I have already had.
And then come and report back to us?
And then maybe we'll do a little AI Chicks music drop release of some AI music.
And then if it goes viral, then you know it's here to stay. Well, this has been a really great conversation.
Yeah.
I, kind of want to switch gear. A quick notable mention is Disney and Universal suing Midjourney because of copyright infringement.
Yeah. So for you guys that don't know, Midjourney is a Gen AI platform that generates video and images. So Disney and Universal, big juggernauts in the content space, are basically saying that they use their information, their data, their IP to train Midjourney.
But it's interesting because, some of the music labels are actually doing the opposite thing where they're saying like, you know what, if you're going to use our stuff, you're going to have to pay a licensing fee. So I think that it's going to be really interesting to see whether it's in music or film, TV, where the parties land on what they want to do. But obviously people need to be compensated for the work.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that the music industry is embracing it a bit more because I feel like they saw their digital tech reckoning years way before film and TV. I mean, that's from the Napster days. They had to adapt years ago. I think that they're looking at it with different lens. And then on top of that, music is just audio. That's very different than when you're thinking of a movie or a TV show where it's audio and visual. There's a lot of additional players and creatives, a lot of different directors, writers when you're talking about a TV series. It's not just
editors,
one creator.
It's also actors.
Yeah,
it's
actors,
a lot of things.
likeness. There's so much more there that I can see why the music space versus the TV and film space are approaching it from different positions right now.
And on that note of creatives, specifically visual creatives.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at polestar.com.
What is the next announcement that we have?
Oh my gosh.
Which I feel like it's only appropriate that you announce it.
Speaking of reckoning, Google dropped VO3, which is just changing the game when we think of Gen AI and video image generators. Several months ago, it was Sora from OpenAI. Now it's Google's VO3. You use text prompt to generate very realistic, high quality 8-second videos, and we're talking about the image of the humans is at the best quality it's ever been for AI. Also, the dialogue that it's creating, the lip sync music, sound effects. It is literally generating every aspect of that video to such a strong, high quality level that it has the industry shook.
Well, it's interesting that you're bringing this up because like we just finished talking about music and how the artists feel about that.
Yeah.
All the artists plus the creative talent for movies, I would think would feel the same way about this, right?
Yes. There was already a prelude to that with Sora because Sora came on the stage and was really strong. So that actually had a lot of different studios, top level film creators, agencies pivoting on what they thought AI was going to be doing. But the fact that VO3 is so much more realistic, the quality of it just a few months later, like has it been almost a year? Maybe we're at the year mark. The quality of it is so real. And the fact of that it's generating dialogue and the sound effects and music is doing everything. You don't have to piecemeal. You know what we've talked about in past episodes? Oh, I have to go here for the music. Then I have to go here for the
it's an all-in-one solution.
Yeah, it's an all-in-one solution at such a high quality at every scale that it definitely has everyone shook. And right now, a lot of these outputs have just been 3 seconds, 8 seconds. So
wait till it becomes 8 minutes.
Exactly.
20 minutes.
Yeah. So right now, I would say that because these Gen AI tools, they're not doing it in its entirety like music. The music, you literally can prompt it. It will give you a full 3-minute track front to back. Gen AI for video, it's not there yet. It's not doing just automatically an hour and a half action movie.
Yeah.
But it will get
could.
there. It will get there because
Yes.
that's what they're working on. You could just do a bunch of 8-second videos and put them all together to get you that minute commercial.
Right, or that trailer or show your idea. Sometimes funding is a really big constraint,
major.
right? Like here's the idea for the movie, the 1-minute reel for it.
Yeah.
I want the funding to like, go make the movie. Will this tech help us produce more content? But then there's also the concern about talent and creatives. And so where is the medium ground, so to speak, or the collaboration? So I think that's what's really kind of interesting is what's the collaboration going to be? And like, look, it's 8 seconds now, but could we have 5 minutes in a year?
Few months. That's where my mind goes with it because I'm not surprised at VO3. You and I knew this was coming years ago. From the AI chick standpoint,
We're not surprised,
We're
guys.
not surprised at the quality of it, but I am surprised at how fast the AI advancement is happening because with other tech, it wasn't happening that fast. When equipment, when tools, when devices enhance, we know that's inevitable because that's part of human nature.
But it's happening very fast
Yeah,
now.
the pace that it's happening,
Yes.
we're that good already from Sora, then how much more exponentially faster do we build off of VO3? I was thinking that some of these capabilities would be 5-10 years out.
Yeah, and
Because-
now I think that timeline has only accelerated.
yeah, it keeps accelerating. The improvements and the advancements are just getting faster, and the time frame between them are getting shorter. So
I think
that's
that-
my aha moment that I'm having with VO3. Yeah.
And I think too, there's the studio, the streaming services. Then there's also then the creatives, how they're going to be using the tools, because that's the other opportunity that sometimes I think is not discussed often enough is you as the creative, whether you're an editor, a producer, a director, learning these tools, using these tools, becoming knowledgeable enough, right?
Yeah.
That's also how you are able to navigate the space.
Your capabilities as a hire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But is this also going to turn into A-pop? This is AI content.
Yeah.
Hey, we just generated this movie.
There are some films that use AI to make the lead look younger, things of that nature. And then there's other independent filmmakers who literally have been using AI to make the entire movie. Definitely, it is happening.
So do you think that's going to be a good thing, a bad thing? Do you think it's going to take eyeballs away
I think
from
it's-
human shows to more AI generated shows?
I think it's the same situation with music. I think that when you start being able to just generate an entire movie just with using text, that does take away from knowing the actual creative nature and artistry of filmmaking. And for those people who are super amazing, talented with lighting, with wardrobe stylists, things like that, there's certain things that are human innovation, human ingenuity, human creativity that could get lost if the pendulum swinged enough where then most of the content coming out in the marketplace is because someone just put words to an AI platform.
Or I just have to do it, guys. Or is that just going to be a unique craft in and of itself? Someone who is a editor or a producer of, human, we'll just call it human shows, right? Has their special skill set, but someone who creates AI generated has their special skill set and their ability, because I still believe, and just guys, this is after using so many AI tools, it's not a push a button, get exactly what you want. It's a lot of give and take. So will these people just be really specialized in you're trying to get the movie to go this way? No. This is how you gotta work with the tool. And so those people just become very specialized in their
prompting for
movies and film and TV. I think it's gonna be another genre. That's what I think.
And we've talked about that, where the industry and the marketplace could turn into is using humans to generate the first version. You have humans generating the first season of that show, and then a VO3 type of platform ingests all that data. And then moving forward for seasons 2, 3, and beyond, you're just prompting a VO3 type of platform to just generate new storylines, more episodes, new characters based off of that first season.
I will just say this. I love the actors that I love. But
it would still be those actors.
It would, but there's just, I would still want the real thing
I get
personally. It. However, but if there was a mistake made in the movie or they needed to go back and reshoot things.
Yeah, but that's what's happening now.
That's what's happening now. So I'm cool with that. You're right.
You're cool with what's happening, how people are using AI right now. Like for example, I don't know if we've actually publicly said this, but happy to drop the tea. If we mess up on a word, we don't need to re-record it. Our editor just uses AI to
just clean up that one word.
To clean up the word. Or
the rest of us this is all us.
Yeah. But it uses to clean up that mistake versus us needing to go back and re-record. Where it is right now is comfortable. There's a happy medium and dance that's happening right now, where there's this tool that has some great, amazing capabilities and helps expedite things, optimize things for less cost, especially for people that don't have big budgets. So whether that's in music, film, or TV, whatever it may be, if you're running a business, it optimizes there as well. There's a dynamic where you can have a happy medium right now.
And maybe it also gives people access to creative opportunities that they might not have because of where they live or where they grew up or what their financial situation is.
Exactly.
And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about giving people opportunities, but there has to be protections in place. It just cannot be a, free for all.
Exactly. There is this side of me understanding tech, meeting a lot of these CEOs and what they're building, understanding the pluses and the pros. There's things about it that helps save time, money, democratize access to things. So I do see the pros and all of that. But then when I put my creative concern hat on,
then you have to think about it from their perspective, and tech innovation is going to continue, but we need to be respectful and honor the actual creative craft. But what I'm just trying to encourage, and I think what I love about this kind of conversations of the going back and forth, is just really seeing that you can't have these conversations in vacuums. You have to think about how it affects all the different players and really come up with a solution that works with innovation and works with progression.
And just to close out on the VO3 of it all, definitely in the infancy stages of where it's at right now, I encourage everyone to play with it, learn it, see what is happening and evolving Gen AI space. And it will be very interesting to see how this continues to expand. And at the end of the day, though, societal wise, we choose how we want to implement it. We choose the guardrails. We choose how the policies are around it.
And we also give our attention.
Yeah.
A-pop music, AI generated film and TV. If we watch it, we give it attention, it will continue to grow. So I do think that as a society, we do control what ends up growing or not.
Exactly. And we technically control and give it power of where it gets implemented and the user experience around it. So We've covered a lot.
We
here
have
with these headlines.
I know, 3 headlines, but man, were they strong headlines. No, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Summer 2025 Headlines.
And make sure that you subscribe, follow us. And what else, Lana?
Don't forget to grab the merch.
All right, you guys, take care.
Bye.
Listen to the AI Chicks on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Video episodes are available on Patreon. And check out our socials at The AI Chicks.